Welcome back to part 2 of the East End garden bed definition process. And no, I promise I'm not doing the Cotton Eye Joe really fast. I'm actually working on defining this edge. What I like to do when doing a new area is go along with the spade along the line that I've spray painted before coming back perpendicular and cutting out chunks. This allows me to lift it and then flip it up, which makes it easier when I get down on my hands and knees to rip it off and dig out the edge. This really helps stop grass from growing in. It also allows me to see the edge I'm working with better than I did with the spray paint, which means there's always a few moments of refining what it looks like. And it'll make the whole cardboarding process a lot easier. I am also dealing with a ton of moss in this area, so I'm scarifying the area in a couple directions with a garden rake, and then I'm going to take a leaf rake to really scratch it up and get as much of the moss out of this bed as I can before we put down the cardboard mulch. I probably should have cleaned this out beforehand, but we're dealing with what we got versus what we should have done, and there's always next year to get it better. After that, I weeded the 2 beds that I have here with zinnias and dahlias because they were a little bit overgrown. They'd been weeded a couple times, but the weeds were taking over again. Weeding them took out a good chunk of dirt, so I brought in some nice topsoil to even stuff out before coming in with some nice, neat, clean mulch. Mulching around these plants is probably going to be one of the fussiest areas we're going to be mulching in this entire project, so I wanted to get it out of the way while it was nice and cool. At this point, it was finally time to bring out the cardboard. Now, I have a ton of cardboard that I have been hoarding for quite some time in preparation for this project. It becomes a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to fit the cardboard where you need it in the space, and you want to overlap it with a couple inches as you can. I like to make sure that I get as much of the tape off as possible with labels off. I was a little bit lax here because I just wanted to get it done, and I watered down the cardboard before spreading the mulch. This is where we ended for the night. We got a lot done in a day. Check back to see part 3 or visit my YouTube channel where the whole video is up now.